Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to service headlights on this 2003 Passat wagon, pretty much the same as any 01 to 03 Passat. And the outer bulbs, or the low beams, are pretty easy to replace if you're just looking to replace a bulb. The inner ones, you probably are going to need to remove the headlight. So we show you both replacing the bulbs as well as changing your entire assembly because they cloud and fade or get broken. Tools you'll need to replace your entire assemblies are flat blade screwdrivers, both medium and larger size, T25 and T30 Torx drivers, 8 and 10 millimeter sockets with ratchet and extension, and a Phillips screwdriver.
Okay, if you're looking to just change a bulb, on the passenger side you can actually remove these 3 screws here, and this duct comes out, and I'll show you that later, as well as this panel pulls off and you can access the back of your headlight. On the driver's side, you reach kind of under here and pull on a couple of tabs. Okay, and this comes up and off. And then back in here, on the outer lamp, you remove this rubber boot. Okay, and then just turn this counterclockwise, and this comes out, and that bulb actually just pulls straight out and goes back in. Or a new one would go back in, put it back in, make sure it's seated, turn it clockwise to lock it in place, put the rubber boot back over. Okay, then here you have a little door that pulls out, and then can pull up. Show you better in this light that's removed. Okay, inside there, again like the other side, is a light that you turn counterclockwise, comes out, bulb pulls straight out of there, and a replacement goes in. Most likely removing the whole headlight is the only way you're going to actually get to it. And there's also another small bulb up in there. That's the same thing. In order to remove your headlight, you're actually going to need to remove the bumper cover, and that's not actually that big of a project. It's just a few fasteners. You've got a T25 screw that's right up in here. Okay, and on each side you've got 3 screws right inside the wheel well, there, and there. And then up underneath you've got 3 flat blade screws, one there, and there should be another one here, but it's missing on this vehicle. Okay, as well as, again on this side, the 3 screws in the wheel well and the one up top. Okay, so I'm using a T25 Torx Driver. It's a socket with a ratchet.
Fast forward here as I remove the 3 screws that are in the wheel well, and then the one that's up underneath. I use the extension to get to that one, as well as remove them from the other side. Now, using a flat blade screwdriver, I take the fasteners out from underneath. They're pretty simple. They actually only turn about half turn and then pull down and out.
Okay, on each parking light, push the front in. Okay, carefully insert a screwdriver in the back here, and if you pry with the
you want to push in on the frontal light and use the screwdriver to kind of pry it forward and then pull it out, disconnect it, and obviously repeat for the other side. Okay, as we open up the hood, then there's 2 more T30 screws right on the top, on each side of the top of the grill. Fast forward here as I remove those 2 screws or bolts at the top, and then you'll see I go to each side and just kind of pull on the bumper cover and unlock it on each side.
Okay, next you're going to want to remove this handle, and right in here you can see there's a little metal clip. Put a screwdriver down in there and pry that clip up. Okay, so you can see I have the clip up there. Then take your screwdriver, put it in, and pry the handle apart and pull it off. Okay, so I just reached in with my screwdriver, pried off one side, pulled, and then pried off the other side and pulled that right out. Now right here in the center you'll see a little tab. You pry back on that tab and lift your grill straight up on each side. And it should pop out. Sometimes you'll get one of the clips. I'm just reaching down in here, kind of prying this last clip out. Okay, these clips should just pull right up and out. This one kind of got hung up a little bit, so I just had to go in there on the back side and pry like that.
And with the grill off, there are 4 more T30 screws right underneath to remove.
Okay, now with all those removed, the bumper cover will slide forward and it'll come out. You want to be careful. There are your fog lights. If you have fog lights, reach down in the tab here and press firmly and disconnect. Then do the other side. There are 2 T30 bolts on each side that you want to remove. One here and then one right in down here, and that'll allow this panel to flex a little bit.
And speed up the film here a little bit as we just remove those 2 bolts. Your side headlight, which we'll show you, there are 4 screws that hold it in place. 2 very easy to see. You remove this rubber grommet and you'll see one right down in there. You'll need an extension to get to that one, and then you'll need an extension to get to the 4th one, which is right there between the radiator support and the duct. That duct comes off fairly easily. Pull off the back cover, and then there are 3 screws that hold the duct in place, and the duct will come back up and out. And I'll speed up here as I remove the 3 Phillips screws and then pull that duct up and out of place.
Okay, additionally you'll want to disconnect it right here. Press on a tab. Press on the tab with one hand and pull it off with the other.
And here we'll fast forward again as I remove those 4 bolts that I showed you earlier that hold the headlight in. I'm using a 10mm socket with a ratchet and an extension.
The light assembly comes out. Okay, new assembly from 1A Auto. You can see, very nice, clear, much better than the original ones.
And the headlights actually float inside the housing, so just for some security during shipping, the manufacturer kind of wire ties them together to keep them in place. So you remove the dust covers, cut 3 wire ties, 1 large one that's easy, and then 2 smaller ones that are kind of inside the compartment. Remove the wire ties, and you're ready to install the lights. Okay, once you have it in place, what you want to do is just start all 4 of the bolts in, and then as you're tightening up, just kind of try and hold the light into the best position possible, and then tighten those bolts up. You want to tighten them nice and firm. They don't have to be too tight though. With the headlight secured back in place, I'm going to speed up here as we put the T30 bolts back in that hold that front brace, and then put the air duct back in place, put the 3 Phillips screws that hold that in place in, and then put that kind of vanity panel back up, clip that back on.
Okay, put the bumper back cover back in place. You'll want to reconnect your fog lights first. Okay, and put your parking light harnesses up and through. Okay, and what you can do is lift the cover kind of up into place, and there's slots here that go on the tabs here, so you want to kind of lift it up in place and slide each side on. Okay, and lift this side up into place. Slide it on.
Okay, once you have it in place, then you want to put the 4 T30 bolts that are at the bottom of the grill back in place and tighten them up firmly.
Now we'll take the grill, and there's 4 slots at the bottom, and then these 2 tabs here and that tab at the top. You want to kind of put it into place. Line it up. Make sure all your tabs are going in. And the top one. Right down in.
And again, we'll fast forward here as we put those 2 T30 bolts back in at the top.
Okay, to reinstall this, what you actually need to do is unbolt your latch mechanism, and there's 3 10mm bolts here, here, and here. Okay. This allows your latch mechanism to move back here. Okay, so you take your handle, kind of squeeze the forks just a little bit and insert it. Okay. Then you can kind of look back through here. You need to make sure that clip is up. Okay. You want a little bit of a larger screwdriver. And separate the forks. Okay. You separate those forks by twisting the screwdriver, and then work the handle on there, and then push the clip down and lock it in place. And you can tell it's in place when this moves around. Okay. Now we can.
And we'll kick it into high gear as I re-bolt that latch mechanism back onto the radiator support. Okay, and kind of speed up through the rest of the video just in the interest of keeping it somewhat short, but we put the fasteners on the bottom and then tighten up the 4 screws that are in the wheel well for the inner fender and the bumper cover. And then the parking lights go back in, make sure you plug them back in, then kind of force them in further in front, then and the back side goes in, and then slide the tabs back into place.
Adjusting these lights, okay, down in these, through these access points, holes right here, and actually here, and here. You can use a Phillips screwdriver to move these adjusters, as you can see on this light that's out of the vehicle. There's also an adjustment point inside this trap door here, as well as you can move these nuts up and down. You would loosen the fasteners, then move these nuts up and down to aim your lights as well.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.